Was she a vampire or an NPC? Maybe together, collectively, you and I can figure that out right here, right now, today. Either way, it was Uncle Mike's very first experience and step into the real world. And I mean the not so real world that we live in today. Oh, I'm so proud. I said real world. Oh, I did. That's the one thing I can't, well, that and ambulance. But there was no need for that in this story. I said it. I'm wide awake. But Uncle Mike is dead asleep and has been since he came out of the womb. Or should I say the Matrix? Into the womb. Or should I say the Matrix? Guys, we live in a matrix and it is rapidly crumbling all around us. And Uncle Mike, who has lived his life with his eyes wide shut, well, they quickly got peeled open the other night, whether he liked it or not. As he found himself, and so did I, face to face with what I can only, I'm vibing more towards vampire with the vibe I got, but could actually be a glitching NPC in the system 4 times. 3 times in the matter of, I'd say 20 minutes. Face to face with the same woman in the very tight, short mini skirt with her little cupcakes hanging out, the heels that, the amount of respect I had for her feet that could keep up in those heels. And I can walk in some heels. Good. Past tense. I didn't think I could ever find anything that I would have a higher level of respect for than her shoes and her feet. But then I quickly shifted all the respect that I have to that shirt because it was using every ounce of material, thread, elastic, and hope that that shirt could muster to keep her lady big bits in. And on that note, if one of my theories is true, and we do in fact live in a matrix simulation, and we are responsible for many of the characters that are in our world, Uncle Mike, you got some splaining to do. I'm here to tell you, you better have some Eagle Scout, Girl Scouts coming our way next time we walk down a busy city street and not this. Well, story time. Let's go. We live in a very small town. It is nearly impossible for Uncle Mike to notice the NPC players in the possible simulation. NPC player, what is that, Auntie? Oh, I'm glad you asked. Sorry, my voice is just now coming back. NPC player is a gaming term for those characters that while you're playing a game as the main character, they fill the background. They make it feel like it's real life and like they have a real life going on as well. Basically, they make what looks fake seem real. NPC is a non-playing character or no-play character. You know, those ones that, let's say at the beginning of the game, I don't know how to play video games very much. Let's just say you're taking a car and you see a businessman walking across the intersection with his briefcase. He might have maybe one line maximum with NPCs, if even that. Most of them are nonverbal. But you'll see the same businessman with the same suit and briefcase walking across the same sidewalk or crosswalk, and you might say, "Hey, buddy, watch out." Just like that. You might even go like that. And if you are unalived and you have to restart that part of the game, guaranteed you're going to see the same businessman, same suit, same briefcase, and the same reaction. "Hey, buddy, watch out." That is if you play like Auntie and you intentionally do whatever it does to make him say that. That is an NPC. They have no purpose, no point, and in life, in the simulation, they have no soul. They're a non-play character. Just there to make you feel like this Truman Show is real life. Do you get my drift? Now, the other creature that I truly wonder if this might have been, because that was the vibe, and I've gotten this vibe multiple times in my life. There is one city that is just top of the list. And I mean, at least out of where I've been, but I'm going to guarantee you New Orleans is one of the, if not the biggest places that I have experienced, seen, and crossed paths knowingly with this creature. And that creature is a vampire. Who I'm here to tell you, vampires are very, very real. Trust and believe they are real. Not only are the bloodthirsty vampires real, but also those that siphon your light, your energy, inner God. Those ones that illegally harvest all of the beautiful light that is you. Well, you might have a dozen energy vampires in your circle, in your life, in your family, as we speak. Oh, you know the ones that by the time you get done talking to them, you are just drained? Yeah, that's that. But that's not what I'm talking about with this one. This was a good old-fashioned Edward vampire. If Edward wore a mini skirt and had triple G boobs with a medium-sized top. Here we go, story time. Now, Uncle Mike hates carrying my purse. I'm physically limited. I'm only supposed to carry 5 pounds, and ooh, my purse, sometimes my purse. So, especially if we're walking long distances, he has to carry my purse. Or at least he should, as a good man. Well, he just throws a 4-year-old size temper tantrum most of the time. No, I don't want to. Everyone's going to laugh at me. Here's where it gets strange. This woman happened to have the one line, and this is weird too, because in Miami, not one person, and I smile at everybody, mad face, what is wrong with people? I will literally smile, I'll break a tooth trying to smile at a person. And in Miami, I maybe had 2 people look at me and smile back. Big cities, people are in that mindset, but they're not going to talk to you on the street, so this was very strange. I always tell Mike, when you're carrying my purse, people are looking at you like, now that's a good man. And that is exactly what the stranger said to my husband and me, I guess, if she even noticed me, as she was coming up the street and we were coming this way and Mike was holding my purse. I am so proud of my husband that after what I'm about to explain to you, he didn't run after he realized what she was. And I'm not proud that he didn't run in the other direction. I'm just proud as shit that Uncle Mike didn't run towards this woman. Because, well, let's just put it this way. She was like a big, shiny fishing lure, and Uncle Mike was a trout. You know, that lady is that kind. But Uncle Mike also knew, no, he knows his wife. And I have a thug side. I wouldn't have ran towards her either, Uncle Mike. Anyways, here's the story time. This is where I need you guys to help me. We're walking down the street, heading towards the stoplight where we're going to go across. This woman in heels that are just this. So immediately, just physics, laws of physics. She's got to be slowed down. And again, those girls, she had to really manage everything. She's coming, we're going, she gets right to us, and she looks at Mike holding my purse and says her one NPC line, or her one vampire lure it in line. Now that's a good man. Mike was like, huh? And I just kind of started laughing. Well, she went that way. And we continued to go that way. We were almost to the red light, ready to go a crosswalk. She goes. Now, she had to have gone this way, this way, this way, and then half of the same crosswalk that we were already initiating into for this to ever physically work. And although I am slow, Uncle Mike's got some stems on him, and it is knees to chest, knees to chest. Trust me, he walks fast. You can only imagine Uncle Mike's shock, surprise, and confusion when that woman met us halfway through that exact same crosswalk and smiled. I knew immediately. Oh, I knew. Uncle Mike looked at me and he said, was that? I said, yeah. He goes, but how? I said, uh-huh. Now you're getting it. So then Uncle Mike and I felt like I was giving him the talk. For the next few minutes, I was trying to explain to him what an NPC is and why that would be a thing if we were in a simulation. I've already had the vampire talk with him. Don't talk to strangers in the big cities. Because now I can tell you, come in a very, very hot second after New Orleans, any vampire activity. Ooh, and you guys got some black magic and just like New Orleans too, but a lot of witchcraft going on. Miami, 100%. Anyways, I was explaining the NPC to him when it happened again. The same woman that had just and crossed our path halfway through the crosswalk where we had already started walking when she just started walking on her first crosswalk of 3, 4, 3.5. She went that way, down the block. We tried. We looked. We were like, what the heck was that? We went up, and here she comes again. Boom. Right down the same sidewalk, right at our faces. Somehow, she was coming right directly at us again. But then it gets weirder. We took a left. We went down 2 city blocks, left. She's already going that way. I think you see where I'm going with this. Because Uncle Mike, poor Uncle Sleepy Uncle Mike, was wide awake after the 3rd time we saw her coming directly at us. 2 blocks in a direction she hadn't even gone, coming directly at us again. But then it gets even more mind-boggling and better because not long after that, that woman we watched, she was going that way, completely gone. We watched her for a while. About 20 minutes later, we headed to our hotel. And as we were about to approach the front door, guess when the front door opened? Who was coming right out? That glitching NPC, or perhaps that vampire with a taste for Uncle Mike. Either way, Uncle Mike finally had his eyes open to the truth to our world. He's a smart man, and he knows physically there is no way that woman, if she was a human, could have done anything that day she did. So you tell me, NPC or vampire? We do live in a matrix, and it does seem to be glitching and actually crumbling right before our eyes. But I'm curious, what do you think? Because me, I think I'm absolutely exhausted after having to explain an NPC to Uncle Mike.